Fingiamo un down, non castare in giro, solo che mi tocca cargare.
Good morning, everyone. Nate Derr, Chief of Police with Bishop Police Department. Just here to give you a little update on monthly update on the Bishop Police Department and some city business. So recently, with the warmer weather starting to come around, we've noticed an uptick in some vandalisms across town. We're working on different mitigation factors to include looking at some video surveillance to be able to up our surveillance within the city. Obviously, this is to combat criminal activity, not to just monitor civilians. Also, the city enacted and will go in effect May 10th, a vacant building ordinance, which also help with the vandalisms. And also, I know one of the main complaints in town from citizens, myself included, is the vacant storefronts and what we're doing for that. It's very nice to see that the city is being proactive on some of these measures. Which leads me also to bring forth, there's a lot of change and a lot of activity going on within the city to try to move our city forward in progress. There's been a lot of years of stagnation, and so we have a very motivated group to try to push some faculties forward within the city, and to be able to be informed, please come out and check things out. There's a lot of projects that take a lot of time, and it's better to have citizen input before we go forward with projects, because the goal across the board is not to implement what the city wants, it's to work for the citizens of what they want. So get involved, be involved, and that's about it for a wrap up from the City of Bishop, from Chief Derr from the Bishop Police Department.
Hello, I'm Jimmy T with Rock the Vote with the amazing Danielle Sexton, who is the Inyo County Clerk, County Registrar of, I screwed it up again. So what are you again?
That's all right. Inyo County Clerk, Recorder, Registrar of Voters.
Of voters.
Yes, it is a mouthful.
Yes, we just had an election. Where are we in the election process?
That is an excellent question. We are close to being done, but we are not done yet. We will certify the election on March 27th. The current items that we have outstanding are processing provisional, conditional voter registration ballots. Those ballots are ones that were cast on election day, but not tallied on election night because they needed to register or re-register. And so those ballots can't be tallied until those registrations are all completed, and we received about 100 of them. So we're getting through those this week.
Why not? Why March 27th? Why not the day after?
Thank you. So even if we finish early, we can't finish early. So by law, okay, so when you have a ballot that comes in by mail, we check every single signature. So if those ballots are unsigned or their signature has changed, we have to hold on to those mailed ballots and contact those voters and give them the opportunity to give us a cured signature. When that letter comes back and we can match up their signature, we can then process and tally those ballots. So by law, the due date for those is 2 days before we certify the election. So before we even start the process, we have to pick a hard date we're going to certify that maximizes their ability to get us back those signatures, but still let us finish early. So the 27th is actually about a week earlier than we are required to. We have to certify within 30 days. But we want to maximize the time for people to return cured ballots and get those ballots tallied. So we have to send those letters out. We have to have a hard deadline then of March 25th. So we can't certify until that deadline to allow those voters to vote.
Which,
yeah.
Just because they've made a mistake, there's no reason to hold it against them.
It is. A lot of people say, do you really check every signature? And yes, we really check every signature.
Actually, you have an incredible audit process now.
We do.
Normally you're required 1%?
So it's called after the election audit, yes. We have an audit where we validate all of the tallies. It's called a 1% audit by law. We are required to do it, but even if we weren't required to, it's such a great audit, we would choose to. You have to audit 1% of the casted ballots, but our county is so small that we actually audit about 30%. I know we did about 3,000 ballots last time. So more, maybe even 40% of total voted. So what the audit is we bring in 8 people from the public. They have to be Inyo County registered voters, and they are the election audit board. They will randomly draw a precinct. They will hand tally every contest on every ballot in that precinct. And they will compare those hand tallies to the digital tabulation machines reports to say that the machines tabulated 100% accurately. And then they'll pull additional precincts to make sure every contest in the election is audited as well.
That's
So
outstanding.
it's very good.
No, this is open to public.
It
They can
is.
watch.
It is, absolutely. It starts March 19th at 9 a.m. in my office in Independence in the historic courthouse. It starts that day, and then it goes continuously each day until they are done. And until we draw that precinct, we don't know how many we're auditing, so there's no way to know how many days we'll do it, but it's usually 2 to 4 days.
Will there be snacks?
Maybe.
You can increase your.
They might be snacks for the workers.
So, you tell me about the digital. Well, I screwed up my ballot. As soon as I got it, I grabbed
Did
the
you vote
closest
in
pin
person
available.
this year?
Well, I got the mail-in ballot.
Okay.
I grabbed the closest pin available. It was a magic marker. Instructions say don't use that. And so I went in the day to vote, and I gave them to the people were just phenomenally. They were positive. They were intelligent. They were gracious. They knew what they were doing. They were efficient. I screwed my ballot. Okay, here's my ballot. I went voted. It was like faster than ever.
Well, that is so great to hear. And that's, one thing I want to say is that we should be so proud of our community, because before the election, we received a lot of information from the state of how to deal with the disturbances in the polling places and how to deal with disgruntled people that are voting and how to deal with the mass amount of expected harassment to the election workers. And we had no reportable offenses. I actually received calls the next day from the election workers saying how much they enjoyed it and how great the day went. And I'm just very proud of our community and how well we treat each other and how much respect we treat each other with. And it says a lot about how close we are as a community. It was nice.
Everybody was smiling. I mean, nobody was grumpy that day. It was wonderful.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we had 1 or 2 people but the people get passionate, but nobody was disruptive and nobody was mean to the election workers, and it went well.
And you said Darwin even was represented.
So this is an interesting thing. So when you came in and voted in person, you must have known that you sign now on the digital pad. So these are our new digital rosters. We got them for the security of now that everybody is required to vote and everybody's required to receive a mailed ballot. We need a way to better control how those are voided when people want to vote in person, so they're not being have 2 open ballots. So when you go and now vote in person on the digital roster, the information from the digital roster sends information back to our system to say that person has voted and their option to vote in person is now voided. But it opened up this whole world of all these other options that we can do. And one of that is now that everybody receives an Inyo County mailed ballot, you can use that paper ballot as your in-person paper ballot at any polling place, because the rosters now have all the voters, not just your precinct's voters. So everybody who's allowed to vote in person is in those rosters. So any voter in Inyo County that has an Inyo County ballot can go into an Inyo County polling place and vote in person. So people from Darwin showed up in Lone Pine. I was there. I get to go to every polling place throughout the county on election day. We have a 22-hour day. So when I was there, two people from Darwin were there, and they voted in person, and it was a really cool experience to witness.
Was that the first time
They've never been able to vote in person before.
Wow, that's
so
outstanding.
It really opened it up to our residents. It's quite the trek to come over to Lone Pine would be their closest polling place, but it's great. Cool. Yeah.
Danielle Sexton, the Inyo County Clerk Registrar of Voters. This has been amazing. Can you come back?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is Jimmy T with Rock the Vote with Danielle Sexton.
Hi, I'm Ken Bringle, Executive Director of the Mammoth Lakes Chamber of Commerce, at least for a couple more months.
And I'm Brianna Goico. I'm the current Assistant Director at the Mammoth Lakes Chamber of Commerce. I'll be stepping into the role of President and CEO when Ken moves on to his next phase of life.
Appreciate that.
Yep. And we're here just to chat a little bit about a few things going on with the Mammoth Lakes Chamber in March.
Yeah, on Tuesday, March 19th, we have our power lunch, which will be up at Parallax at McCoy Station. And prior to that, at 10:30, we're going to be meeting for all the skiers and snowboarders who wish to join us at Chair 3, and we're going to ski for an hour or so, and then we're going to head to Parallax and learn about altitude awareness. And for the big words, I'll turn it over to Brianna.
Sure. Yep. We'll have Dr. Peter Clark from Mammoth Hospital talking to us about acclimatization, hydration, and just how to thrive in the mountain environment. So really looking forward to that day. So for anyone that has a ski pass or a lift ticket that day that wants to join us on March 19th, we'll be up starting at Chair 3 at 10:30, a little chamber networking and skiing.
Fun.
Yep.
Make sure, though, you go to our website, mammothlakechamber.org, and register. You can do it through the events page. You'll see it on the front, on the home page. Please, we'd love to have you join us.
Yep. And later in the month, got another great program coming up.
Yeah, this is one I'm looking, and I'm not even a drinker, but I'm looking forward to it. Devil's Creek Distillery will be hosting our business after hours on March 26th, again, a Tuesday. And they are excited about hosting it at their new facility down in the industrial park. So please, again, you can find all the information on our website. Go in and learn about what we're doing at our business after hours.
Yep. So business after hours is always 5 to 7 p.m. And like Ken mentioned, a great way to just connect, network, and get to know our business community. You don't have to be a member to attend, but we do encourage a lot of our members to make it out. So again, that's Tuesday, March 26th, Devil's Creek Distillery, 5 to 7 p.m.
I'm Jason Brown with Skippable News. We're back this week with Lisa Cox, and we're going to be talking about Reds Meadows. Now, Lisa, there has been a lot of posts, even from Reds Meadows Resort themselves.
Yes.
What's happening over there?
So we are currently, figuring out how this summer schedule is going to go with with the contractor. The Federal Highways Administration is the one that's in charge of this project.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with you.
Oh,
as
well,
the
yes,
it does.
we went in on that flap grant together
Okay,
with the California.
but they're in charge of it.
They're running the show, and
Okay.
they're the ones contracting.
Okay, got it.
So they are the main person to connect with the contractor, and due to the delays we experienced over last winter, which
But we
a
did
lot
not
of us-
expect that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot
it
of
was a
us.
lot of snow.
Of course, we had that record-breaking snow,
Yeah.
and Mammoth is the record breaker
Yeah.
in the United States, pretty much.
Yeah.
So that delayed the project pretty significantly.
Which is Reds Meadows.
Yeah, so now the contractor is under even more of a crunch time to get the work done.
Ugh.
So we tried our best to keep as many days open as we could to the public.
Okay.
Which ended up landing on them working Monday through Thursday,
Okay.
uninterrupted. So that means they can actually rip out the road,
Okay.
install the soil nails, which is on the walls of the side of the road to stabilize it.
Okay.
And that kind of work requires heavy equipment that can't be moved,
No.
every 30 minutes to
no,
an hour.
to allow a vehicle by. No.
Yeah, unfortunately you can't.
And there's just no room there. I mean, that's one of the
Yeah.
reasons why you guys are doing the project.
Exactly. And if there was an emergency, of course,
You'd figure out a way to get
we
it.
would make it that happen, but that has to be on a minimal basis so they can get the work done as quickly as possible. So for the public, they will be allowed to enter Reds Meadow starting at 9 a.m. on Fridays
Okay.
through Sunday night. The last shuttle from ESTA is at 7 p.m. on Sunday night,
Okay.
but we're not locking you out
Okay.
until Monday morning
So
early.
there is no camping then, like Tuesday through Thursday then?
So right now, no campgrounds are going to be open.
Okay.
Our
So this is
concessionaire.
just to come down and like look at Devil's Postpile, to go
Yeah,
down
you
and
can
look
totally
at
do that
look
for
at
the
Rainbow
day.
Falls. That's what that's
You
about.
can totally do that for the day,
no
Friday
camping.
through Sunday.
Okay.
Correct. If you're a backpacker, you'd be camping in the backcountry, right? So you can totally do that.
But to recreational campers, somebody like me, I'm not going to be bringing my RV down
Unfortunately, no.
Okay,
And
got
that
it.
was up to our concessionaire to make that
there. Hey,
decision.
this totally makes sense. I mean, the project's got to get done.
Yeah, and one of the main reasons the concessionaire was chose not to operate on the weekend was just because the services they need are during the week to keep things running, and the services that they contract out to get certain things done, they can't come on weekends.
So it's a partial win-win.
It's, yeah, we would
It
like
still
to
gets some of the
find a
public
way
to be able to use it.
Yeah, right now we are discussing, we're trying to find a way to keep a campground open on the weekends, but we just can't promise it.
Right.
We're trying.
Totally understand.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Do you think that they're going to be able to get this project done this summer?
No, absolutely not.
All right.
No, no, it's definitely going to be through the end of 2025.
Okay.
And potentially pushed into 2026.
And that's just because of the winter that we had last year.
Yeah.
And there's a lot.
The goal is to be done at the end of 2025.
Okay.
But unforeseen circumstances are just that.
I
And
understand.
so-
I totally understand.
So there is that possibility. Also, with the wilderness permits, we are trying our absolute best to also find a way to still let people enter and exit during the week.
Okay, that's hard.
But it's really hard
But
because
can't they enter and exit, like, it's not that far for them to come through, like, what's the other side, Lake Mary and all that?
Yeah, so you can come in. You can come in through other trailheads.
Yeah.
That's fine, but that just means the pressure to get those permits from those entryways.
Oh, I see.
Mondays
Puts a
through
lot of
Thursdays
pressure
makes
on
it
them.
really hard to
Yeah.
get those permits.
Got it.
So just be at the computer at 6:59 a.m. if you want to get the permit that day 6 months in advance. 60% of the permits are released 6 months in advance.
Okay.
2 weeks prior to that
click,
date,
click.
40% of the permits are released.
Refresh.
So, yeah, and hey, I'm one of those people too, okay?
Yeah, totally
I'm
understand.
trying to score duck pass permits right
Progress
now.
progress is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a price to pay, and unfortunately, that is limited access in the Reds Meadows.
Yeah.
But Lisa, thanks for coming in, and we look forward to having you next week.
Yeah, no problem. And just so people know, we have a website for Reds Meadow. So just go to our Forest website and I will always be updating it with the latest info.
You got it. Thank you for watching. We'll be back with Lisa Cox.
Hello, I'm Jeff Gabriel with the Eastern Sierra Interpretive Association. We have a great program planned for you on Sunday, March 31st from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's going to be the Happy Springs Rock Painting. It's going to be at the Mobius Arch in the Alabama Hills National Scenic Area, and you're going to be a chance to be able to paint a rock, and you will get the chance to be able to experience something that most people don't get to, and that is, again, you get to paint a rock. Now, if you want more information about this great program, go to sierraforever.org and click on calendar for March 31st. Provide more information. This program is free to the public. All children must be accompanied by an adult. Please bring your water, snacks, sunscreen, because she's going to be outside and the weather could change. Again, I'm Jeff Gabriel with the Eastern Sierra Interpretive Association. Educate, inspire, explore.
Hi, I'm Jason Brown with Laughing Parrot Productions, Skippable News, Sierra Wave Media, all these different hats that we wear over here. But I am with the sheriff, Stephanie Rennie from Inyo County. And what do we have today?
Well,
you got a new program, don't you?
Good morning,
Called Stars?
Jason. Yeah.
Good morning. Yes.
Yeah, it's semi-new program. The acronym is STARS. It stands for Sheriff's Teaching and Reinforcing Safety. It's a program that two of my deputies actually established themselves. Deputy Ryan Ruther and Deputy Eric Clinton came up with this program, created it from scratch. We even have a dog.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So a canine?
Well, it's a fake. It's a fake.
Oh, it's a fake dog.
Yeah.
Fake dog.
So,
all right. My bad.
anyways, this program, they travel throughout the county and visit all the schools within the county, teaching kids subject matter such as bullying and such, and personal safety. It's pretty fun. They just did an assembly in Big Pine a few weeks ago, and the kids actually even beat my boys out in a, I don't know, relay race, I guess. So it was a lot of
Okay.
fun. It was a lot of fun for everybody.
Okay.
So
you say you go to all the schools. I mean, like all the way over to the other side of the mountains?
correct. So Deputy Ruther is actually assigned in Death Valley, so they do a lot of the school functions for the kids out there because there's limited resources out there for them.
Big
So we
time.
try to focus on the schools that are higher risk, in my opinion.
Okay.
But we focus on all the schools, really.
All right. What age group is this? What are we talking when we're talking about schools?
They've adapted this program to start from like kindergarten, but it goes all the way up through high school.
Okay.
They try to focus on the younger kids
Okay.
just because they're the most vulnerable.
Right.
And you know, the youth are our future, so we
Exactly.
really want to focus on their wellness, their mental health wellness, their safety. We want them to get to know and trust law enforcement.
Okay.
Yes.
But you said it talks about bullying.
Bullying.
So that is
Is one
a
of the
really-
topics.
Well, that's a really good topic because I do know that there's a lot. Middle school is notorious for bullying, and I
Yes.
know there's a lot of things going on in the middle school at this moment.
Yes.
In regards to bullying and
Yes.
fighting and stuff. So hopefully your program will teach a younger generation to be different.
Right. Right.
Hoping.
That's our goal. That's our goal. So,
All right, so that's STARS.
STARS.
Give us the acronym again.
STARS is Sheriff's Teaching and Reinforcing Safety.
All right, there you go. What else do we got today?
So we have a new canine, Envar. He was donated to us from Esmeralda County. Unfortunately, Esmeralda County decided to kind of dissolve their canine program, and they have this, I believe he's a 2-year-old Malinois. I could be wrong. I just love dogs. I just don't know what they are.
Furry little wonderful creatures.
Right, they're the best, right? So he's our third dog now. He's
Okay.
trained in drug detention and apprehension. And his new canine handler is Deputy Lloyd, so we're pretty excited about that. Deputy Lloyd and Envar are currently down in Riverside at a canine handler course.
Oh, I saw that on the Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we're pretty
So that's how
excited.
they do it. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but do they train the dog and then send the deputy down to like pair with the dog?
So yes and no. This is kind of a unique situation because the dog had already been trained.
Right.
And he had another handler prior to Deputy Lloyd. So he had gone through the extensive training through Alder Horse. That's where we purchased our canine dogs.
Okay.
And so the dog had already been trained, but Deputy Lloyd had not been. So we sent them both down there. It's basically bonding for the dog with the canine handler. So the training's more geared towards Deputy Lloyd at this point, but it is a bonding experience for both. So the dog is amazing. We do use our canines for a lot of school functions as well. The kids love that.
Yeah, I love watching the kids run around there and the dog's just chasing them. Just kidding.
They don't really do that.
No, they don't at all.
Folks, yeah.
Bad humor, Jason.
Yeah,
Bad
so-
humor.
But we're excited about that. So now that we have 3 canines, Mono has a support dog, I believe, but Mammoth Lakes now has a canine dog, or a
Okay.
canine officer. So because we have a group of canines, they typically go to a training monthly down in the Southern California area.
Oh, the deputy and the canine?
And the canine, but Alder Horse is now going to be bringing the training here. So
Oh,
it's a
nice.
cost savings. It's pretty great. We're pretty fortunate for that as well.
So when they come up here, are they taking care of Mammoth Lakes, Mono County, and you guys all at the same time?
Correct.
Yeah.
So, and then Chief Probation Officer Jeff Thompson has been very, very generous and has allowed us to utilize some of the grounds at the old juvenile detention center for part of the training. So
Nice.
yeah, it's all kind of coming to place, and we're excited about that program. We're excited about our school programs. We're looking into in the future creating a school resource position. So I think that's kind of imperative, and it goes hand in hand with bringing up our youth and having them have a different outlook on law enforcement. And again, it's a good tool to utilize, like you said, in the junior high arena, right? Where bullying is at its all-time high. That would be a good barrier and buffer for the kids.
Yeah. I don't know what happens between that age group, and it's usually not 6th grade, it's like 7th and 8th. There's just like something, I guess it's all hormones and stuff.
Well,
but
you know, that's a...
They become mean. No, they really do.
I think that the junior high kids are pretty vulnerable in the sense that they're kind of stuck in between being a child and an older teenager, like a teenager, and so it's a confusing time, I think. So I think that there are some kids out there that just are, you know, mean, but I also believe it's just they're conflicted.
I think so. I agree with you on that. I think it's more than just being mean. I think they're just conflicted.
Right.
And hopefully these programs will help.
I hope so. I mean, that's the goal anyways. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to the possibility of having a school resource officer and starting that program up. I don't believe that the Inyo County Sheriff's Department has had a full-time school resource officer in many years. So it's time. It's long overdue, in my opinion.
Wonderful. Anything else you want to share?
Just that I'm excited about this career. I'm excited about our community. I'm excited about my department. And
your department's done a good job.
Thank you.
And I'm interrupting only for one reason. There has been comments out there like, where's the sheriff been? And we've talked on the side, and you allowed the investigators who did the hard work to be able to be the ones that received the recognition for solving the cases on the homicides. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well,
recognition where recognition is due.
Absolutely. I hate to step on people's toes and steal their thunder when they worked really hard.
Exactly.
And I really believe in giving my staff the recognition when recognition is due. Absolutely.
So Investigator Howard and Connolly, thank you. Did a good job.
And we also have a whole unit that worked on the last case, the homicide case. And the unit actually consists of my department, the Inyo County Sheriff's Department. It also consists of the Inyo County District Attorney's Office and the Bishop Police Department. So let's give a shout out to them.
To everybody. It's kind of like when you go to when you watch the movie awards, you know, there's so many people behind the scenes. It's not just the investigators that make it happen. And there's even the people that call in the tips.
Absolutely. So
it's a team.
It is a team, and they worked really hard day and night. I don't even know if they slept. They were.
I know you didn't.
I never do, Jason. I never do. So
we've had that conversation.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you all as well.
Well, thanks for watching. I'm Jason Brown, and this is Sheriff Rennie.
This win.
That wasn't too bad, huh? Now for the hard part.
To take the next step.
What are you talking about? I've already taken all the steps. kicking butt and taking names.